Oh, you know now, Poncho. Now with WWE Heels, it's a great thing to be a heel. But in today's wrestling world generation, a heel is not great at all. And it makes me so mad because like some of the best heels wind up like being the baby faces and all that. But Poncho, why are the WWE heels not heels like anymore? Why they're not good as they once was back in the day? Well, DJ Blazin, I'm glad you asked that. It also makes me mad too about the WWE heels and not getting the respect and heel rights that they deserve because number one, you have well, like Jim Ross quoted and Steve Austin both quoted, um, you have ex WWE wrestlers and professional ex WWE wrestlers that are now agents and some of them are producers. No names mentioned, but most of them like don't spend the time with the heels with the wrestlers in today's world. And one of the reasons why is because they just don't have the time. I think for number one and number two is that the heel. I don't know if the wrestlers, most of the wrestlers today are not willing to put in the work. Let's just be point blank honest. But it's also a fact that there's just a lack of knowledge. You know, back in the day when Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, the Dudley Boys, JBL, The Undertaker, Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, Eric Bischoff, like all them wrestlers, and even like the wrestlers in the '80s, like Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes, the Midnight Rockers, the Von Erichs, all of them like had stories because they spent time with the producers and the agents, and pretty much they had to shut up and sit down and listen, and they had to listen to the stories, but yet they gained respect and trust at the same time. And in today's generation, you don't see the love and the passion. You don't see those producers and agents teach the young heels. And it pisses me off so bad, too, because we got some heels that are actually great, like Samoa Joe or Drew McIntyre or Dolph Ziggler, and then Kevin Owens, and then Braun Strowman. You got guys that are willing to put in work, and then there's some guys, of course, that are just there to be on TV and all that. But some guys are actually willing to put in the work, but yet it's the lack of knowledge because I guess it's where it's the agents and wrestlers from where they put in the time and work, and they feel like that the heels today have to put in the work just like them. True, they do have to put in the work just like them, but in retrospect, the WWE agents and producers have to be willing to help the young wrestlers. If they don't help the young generation wrestlers today, then they will fail. And Vince hates to see the company fail. He hates to see wrestlers fail, but that's because that's dollars out of his pocket. But at the same time, it's just a lack of knowledge and a lack of management.